Thank you for joining us on this episode of EideCast. Is this thing on? I'm joined today with sales manager Tyler Swanger.
Hi.
Hi, thanks for joining. How are you?
Good.
Good. So right away, let's dive into your career with Vern Eide.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start at Vern Eide?
I started in Vern Eide in 2013.
Okay.
Yeah. It would have been August. Yeah, August of 2013 is when I first started.
How did you get started? Like, what drew you to applying?
So if some people know, some people don't. So back when I was in high school, you know Justin Point, who's in our marketing meetings, does Cannonball Media. So I worked for him in high school at Pizza Ranch.
Okay.
So he owned the East Side Pizza Ranch at the time. And him and his business partner at the time, Chris, when you were a senior in high school, they set up job shadows, asking people what they wanted to do and things like that. And I wanted to sell cars. I had a family friend that just bought a dealership, and he sold cars, and kind of watched his career kind of go from here to there. And so that's what I kind of said I wanted to do because I didn't know what else to say. Mm-hmm. And he set me up to job shadow Justin Lake, which would have been Jim's son. Mm-hmm. And then I job shadowed Justin Lake, and then of course did a year of school and didn't really like school and applied for Vern Eide.
Okay.
Yep.
So did you start in sales when you first started?
Yep, first started in sales, yep.
Okay.
So,
how long were you in sales before moving to management?
So I worked at the Honda store for about 7 years, be about 13 to 2020. You know, I did sales, and a lot of people know I worked with John Conlon for many years and kind of helped him finish out his career. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, got to go down to Sioux City and manage the Sioux City store. Okay.
What brought you back to Sioux Falls?
So if you ask a few people, you know, part of it is your fault.
My fault. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take credit for that.
So my wife, me and my wife moved down there, and during your wedding, she spoke to somebody about how she was liking Sioux City and stuff like that, and it got on the subject of moving back. Mm-hmm. This person, who I will not name, denies that conversation ever took place. But after that, we kind of talked about it, and during that time, we discovered I had a tumor in my head.
Okay.
So we, just with the whole tumor, going to the Mayo Clinic, she just made more sense to kind of move back, me closer to family.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. Well, unfortunately, I'm not happy to hear about the tumor, but I am happy to hear that you are back in town. Yeah. For those who don't know, Tyler's wife and I grew up friends. So although I haven't known Tyler as long as her, it's like he's almost my brother just because I've known his wife for so long. Mm-hmm. But I'm happy that you guys are back, and it's fun. You went to high school in Lincoln, right? Where did you grow up?
So I grew up in Sioux City until about my freshman year, and then about my sophomore years when I moved to Sioux Falls, and then I've been in Sioux Falls probably from then on. So
okay, was it kind of nice when you were back in Sioux City working? Oh, or did you?
Yeah, you know, you're closer to some of the family and stuff like that, and I will say Sioux City's got a lot of hideaway restaurants, and I do like to eat, so there's a lot of good restaurants in Sioux City. A lot of different Mexican restaurants, grease joints, burgers. Oh, yeah, that's the place to go.
Okay.
Yeah.
What has been your favorite thing with working for Vern Eide?
Besides the cars, because obviously I'm a huge car person, I would say the camaraderie of our staff. It's very family-like. No matter which store it seems like you go to, stuff like that, you can build relationships that kind of almost last forever when you work here. So,
what is something that you encounter in your job that you did not necessarily expect to be involved with?
So one thing that anybody that's worked at Vern Eide long enough kind of sees this, but one thing you don't expect is all the different things we are part of as of an organization. Okay. Things from the Children's Inn to Compassion Child Care. You don't, obviously you work, we have friends that work for different companies, and they talk about, oh yeah, we give money back and stuff, but the way we give back and also donate our time, volunteer, just like with this December Operation Christmas, when we had the leftover food for the food truck, and Borchard posts that on Facebook, and just goes out all the way down Sycamore, down the street of cars lined up. And a lot of places don't do things like that, and I think once you start working here, you realize just culturally, we just do things a little bit different.
Absolutely. Genuinely seem to care about people and not just boast about it, but actually do care. What is something that is very difficult about your job?
I have this really annoying marketing person that comes down and sees me all the time.
Does she just hover your desk all the time?
All the time.
All the time.
Oh, no, I think the difficult thing is not being able to. I would say the difficult thing about the job is all self-inflicted.
Okay.
And I would say not being able to, let's say, trust or relinquish things that I'm supposed to do that maybe I should trust other people to do.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that's why sometimes a lot of people just go to me because I just get things done.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have a hard time saying no. That would probably be the toughest part.
Okay.
Sometimes, like in the customers, especially we working at the Mitsubishi store, we deal with a lot of subprime and different approval processes. Sometimes telling a customer no, they can't get this or that gets to be a little difficult just because we see a lot of more people at their lows than sometimes their highs. So
that's fair. What is one of the best parts of your job, or the what is your favorite part of your job?
Oh, my favorite part of the job is when we actually start selling cars and stuff like that. The energy momentum of when you see salespeople excited, and when finance is excited, just seeing that level of emotion and stuff, it's a good feeling. Yeah,
seeing kind of other people win and celebrating their wins with them.
Yep,
nice.
Exactly.
So you said you came back to Sioux Falls, hoping to be a little bit closer to family. What does your family consist of?
So I have actually a sister that works at our Honda store. She's a service advisor there. I have a stepsister that lives out in Rapid City.
Okay.
And then I have my brother who works part-time for us at my store, and he washes cars as a car wash runner. And then, of course, I have my mom and my stepdad who live here in Sioux Falls, too. So.
Okay. Yep. And then your other family.
Yes. Yep. And then of course we'll get to my wife, who happens to be your really good friend. She's here as a police officer here in Sioux Falls.
Okay.
And then obviously my three kids would be Tucker, Skylark, and Scout, who, if somebody caught that, they're all named after cars.
Was that kind of a hey, I really want to name my kids related to cars, or was that something that you kind of talked about together? Hey, this could be really fun.
So, my favorite car is a Tucker, and I know that I will never eventually probably get to own one because they go for about $3 to $5 million.
Okay.
Yep. So I've always wanted to name him after Tucker, so that was kind of always said, and then I wanted to name Skylark after Carroll Shelby, so it would have been Preston Tucker, Carroll Shelby, because Shelby Mustang and the whole history. And Sabrina did not like the name Shelby, and one of her friends didn't like the name Shelby.
Oh, really?
Either. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah. And I went ahead and asked her, okay, so you can come up with the names. We decided T's and S's for Tyler, Sabrina. So boys got T's, girls got S's. And she was like, how do you like the name Skylark? Because she thought it was named after a bird, and of course it's one of my favorite Buicks. So, that's a good name. We'll just stick with that one right there. And she didn't even know it was car named till after the kid was born.
Really?
Yep.
Funny. And then how did you come up with Scout?
Scout, I've always been a fan of obviously the international scouts of the 60s, 70s, and when the third kid we left as a surprise, so we didn't know if it was going to be a boy or girl till the day of. We kind of went back with a few names, and she just kind of looked like a scout.
Yeah, that's fair.
When she came.
What do you think with the Scouts coming out with? Because they're coming out with an EV, right? How do you feel about that?
Oh, we'll see. Everybody's got a little parameter. I think it'll do good the first 2 years. There's a lot of money investment. That's obviously going to be a competitor of ours. So
that's right. I guess I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but we'll see. I think there'll be a market for it. But,
okay.
Yeah, but I don't know how well, just because unless you're weird like me, most people don't even know what a scout is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I've kind of learned about it after hearing about her name. So, so in addition to your 3 children, you have a lot of cars, right?
A lot, maybe not a.
How many cars do you have?
Like 7,
7,
8.
okay. What do you all have?
So I have a 1963 Volkswagen Beetle, which if you guys see me driving around, it's painted up like Herbie the Love Bug. And then I own a 1967 Pontiac Firebird that used to belong to my grandpa and my aunt. Then I have a 1984 Hearst Olds. That car is a matching car with me and my dad, so he's got an 84 Hearst Olds. And then I have a newer Corvette. And then I also have I think it's a 68 Volkswagen Pan with a Dune buggy body on it. So that still needs to be fully restored and everything. And then hopefully by the time this airs, fingers crossed, I'm in the works of trying to buy a 1981 DeLorean.
I was wondering about a DeLorean. Okay.
Yeah, so that's, which that right now is currently in the works. So by the time this airs, maybe I'll own it.
Okay.
If not, it will be probably sometime next year.
Okay. So but it is in the works where, like, if someone asks you about it, it's not gonna be like, oh, that didn't happen kind of thing, or.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in the works. Just time is kind of questioning. Okay. So that was one of my questions was going to be, what, aside from the Tucker, what would be a car that you dream of owning? But I think DeLorean was one of those.
Yeah, so I have a list of 5 cars I wanted to own before I pass away. One of them was a Tucker, a DeLorean, a 63 Beetle, so I got the Beetle down, the DeLorean down. Next one after that, it's going to be... it's kind of a weird car.
Okay.
It's going to be a BMW Isetta.
Okay.
Which, if Steve Urkel's car, if you've ever saw Family Matters.
Yeah.
Yeah. The door opens in the front and the steering. Yeah. It's a weird looking car. So I want one of those.
Okay.
And then of course I'd like to get a Scout Traveler.
Okay.
So yep.
Very nice.
Probably late 70s.
How did you get into cars? Like what inspired that? Because obviously it's a passion of yours. What brought you to that?
So when I was a kid, I used to watch a lot of Herbie movies, which hence I own Herbie now. Used to watch a lot of Herbie movies on repeat. Used to wore out the VHS all the time. My grandpa Terry was really, me and him used to talk about cars all the time, and then I used to talk cars with my biological dad all the time. He has a convertible as well. I really got into going to car shows and stuff like that when I moved to Sioux Falls. So me and my stepdad used to hang a lot with his Oldsmobile and stuff like that. So that's really where it took off. So
do you feel like your passion for cars has helped you with car sales?
Well, it makes it so it's expensive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's so our friends Larissa and JC. I don't know if they're the godparents of Sky. Their dad owns a Chevy dealership. So when I was growing up, going way back, he used to actually work for Vern Eide back in the 80s and 90s. Okay. And he actually, when I was in high school, would say, well, if you want to get in, you need to go work at Vern Eide. Hence, and then I job shadowed. It's just kind of funny how that picture all kind of took into place. But when I was in high school, he was just selling cars, and he actually got the opportunity to buy the dealership. Okay. And I just got to watch, how cool it is. You get to sell cars. He ended up buying the dealership and gets to, buy and sell new Camaros all day. And I just thought that was the coolest thing ever. So
nice. Yeah. Do you have any advice for anybody who wanted to get into sales? Like what they would need to be successful, or just, any advice?
I would just say just look at everything in an open heart. Sometimes I'm probably a little too stubborn or in my ways.
Really?
Yeah, can you believe that? I would just tell people to be open-minded. Open-minded, listen. Just try to take advice when you can. So
Okay.
do the opposite of what I did.
Okay. Okay, so obviously you have a lot of cars.
Yep.
You have 3 beautiful kids. What is something people don't know about you?
Ooh, kind of an open book. Well, a lot of people don't know this, is I beat you in a race. And, I'm not the most athletic type in the world.
It was not a foot race, for the record.
No, but I am, as much as I look like Mr. Universe and everything, I was in that moment more athletic than you.
In that moment.
Yep, in that moment.
Okay, maybe we'll rematch in a couple months. I'll let you have the one win.
Yeah.
I don't know that will happen ever again.
You just need one win. That's
Just
all you need.
one win, that's all you need. So when you do get a little time to step away from work, what are some things that you and your family enjoy doing?
We like to travel. Really like to travel or watch movies.
Okay.
When there is a new Star Wars movie that comes out, I've rented every movie theater. Usually opening showing, first showing, I rent out an entire theater to be able to be the first person to watch Star Wars, and then being able to get not crowded in a crowded theater. That's
very important.
Yeah, that's very important to me. But yeah, we're big movie goers. Otherwise, we like to travel.
Okay.
We've gone to a lot of different, obviously with the cars that we have, we go to a lot of different car shows.
Okay. What are some car shows that you've been to?
Recently was Eureka Springs, Arkansas. We went out there with a few friends that we've met through the car shows and stuff like that. And beautiful. If you ever go, it's in the Lake of the Ozarks.
Okay.
Beautiful area. Kind of looks like the Black Hills, but down south. We've gone to Daytona Beach, Florida.
Okay.
When we did the whole Daytona Beach thing, we drove our car on the racetrack, drove the car on the beach. Got to take the kids to Disney World, and did all that too. So
is it always Herbie that you bring with you, or do you bring hers with you?
No, so I brought the Oldsmobile. We've gone to the Hearst Olds Nationals. I've gone to the Indianapolis 500, and we've drove the car on the track there. We've gone to Racine, Wisconsin, and there's a famous drag strip there in the Great Lakes. We've done that. We've taken one to Chicago before. Herbie, we've just because that's my most recent restoration. We've done just a lot with that one, just because also too the kids like it, and you've seen Tucker and Sky. They call it my Herbie. So it's not Dad's car; it's their car.
It's their car. Yeah.
Yeah.
My kids like it too.
Yeah,
so it makes kids happy. For sure.
Yeah, and of course, if people haven't seen it, it's so I have it wired up. So we could be sitting right here, and I could be honking the horns or flashing the lights or making it look like it's interacting with you. So,
very nice.
Yep.
When you've gone to Florida as well, I know you've taken a few trips to Disney World.
Yes.
Is that more for your wife, or do you enjoy going there as well?
Oh, I love Disney World.
What is your favorite thing with Disney World?
Galaxy Edge, Star Wars.
Okay, I should have known that.
That should have been. Oh yeah,
Okay.
First time we went and saw the Millennium Falcon, was like wow. Yep. So.
Do your kids like Star Wars as much as you, or?
Tucker does. Sky obviously doesn't understand it and stuff. Right now, obviously, there's a new series and stuff they post on the Disney Plus, and it's kind of cool when I come home from work and he says, "Are you ready to watch Star Wars?" It's like, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always, buddy.
Yeah, always. Like, oh, is it bedtime? Well, I guess we'll stay up.
Yeah. Oh shoot! You can talk me into it. Okay.
Yeah, you talk me into it. Sky's actually learned a different way when you tell her it's bedtime. She comes up to me and says, "Daddy, can we watch Herbie?"
Oh, she knows.
Yeah, she knows. It's
hard to break you down, I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
What is your why?
I would say my why is I like to help people. Obviously, my family is by Tucker, Scout, Sky, Sabrina, but I would say I really like to help people. And so when you get to work for us, you get to help people every single day. And sometimes it's like, why even knowing that you could just, the more you work, the more people you help, it's just awesome. Yeah. Just because based off our culture and everything else that we do. So.
Yeah, that's a great motivating factor when you really look at the big picture of it. It's not just a day-to-day thing that you're going in, but in the long run, how much it does impact.
So.
Very nice.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, anything else that you're wanting to share?
No.
No.
Nothing.
Okay.
No. I'm pretty much an open book. I don't know if you know that or not.
Okay, I have one question that I'm sure everybody's dying to know. Have you always laughed the way you laugh?
So it skips a generation.
Okay.
So, my grandpa and me laugh exactly the same.
Okay.
So when he was still alive, he had a hardcore belly laugh.
Okay.
If he laughed, like, to the point when I was a kid, I thought it was embarrassing going out with him because you go to a restaurant and you could be in the bathroom and you could hear him laugh because it was so loud.
Yeah.
And then, of course, not realizing is I was laughing the exact same way. And I have tried to change my laugh. Yeah. And you just can't change your laugh.
It's just a Swanger laugh. Like, it's just, you hear it and you're like, oh, Swanger's nearby me.
Yeah, you got a Swanger laugh. You can hear it from a mile away. Or, the other thing that people, in the sales world, there's an adjective where if you spill on yourself, it's called swangering yourself.
I'm very good at that.
Yes.
I think I swanger myself almost as much as you.
I don't know where that came from.
I don't know where.
As we say that.
Your shirt's looking pretty clean today.
Well, I haven't eaten nothing yet today,
true.
so yeah. But and even with all I got a cold, right now, so everything's stuffed up. My eyes are itchy, and
you're not crying constantly talking to me?
No, every time I look, I just want to bawl.
Just want to bawl.
No, that's
what did I get myself into?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh.
I'm gonna have to edit all that out. Okay. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for joining us on this episode of EideCast. Is this thing on? And thank you so much for tuning in to watch us. Have a nice day.